Radiant team ban.
Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to the Sina Cup. This is our second winner bracket semi-final. It's DK versus Vici Gaming. The winner of this best of 3 is going to advance to play against LGD China in the winner bracket final, and the loser will be dropping down to the lower bracket to try and fight their way back through a series of best of 1. So I'm Basecap here providing coverage on behalf of Beyond the Summit. Winter should hopefully be joining me in just a second, though it doesn't seem like he's here just yet, so we'll just wait around for him to pick up. But in the meantime, let's get ourselves underway with the draft.
Remaining.
So over on DK, we're going to have a Pugna band out first. Vici Gaming going to be getting rid of the Timber Saw. And I guess there was a little bit of housekeeping to do here as well. For anybody unaware, I believe that Ice is still in Singapore and Mushi is still back home in Malaysia. So Ice, the word that I've heard is that he's sorting out his visa tomorrow. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time for the finals or for any more of this competition. And looks like Winter has now joined us. So Winter, how's it going?
Sorry, I'm good. I just finished my dinner.
That's fine. So I was just talking about the fact that Ice and Mushi are still back home.
10 seconds
at least as far
remaining.
as I know. So do you have any more details as far as that's concerned?
5 seconds
They're going back on
remaining.
Tuesday.
Okay, so has Ice sorted out his visa now, or does that still need
Reserve
to be
time.
done? Because last time we cast, they said Monday, I think, that he was going to go get it sorted.
I'm not very sure though, but he told me that he's going back to China on Tuesday.
Okay, so hopefully they'll be back. Well, if they make it through this, hopefully they'll be back in time for the
Radiant
finals.
team
They might
pick.
need to, depending on if they need a little bit of time to travel. They
DK's
might
turn
actually
to
need to
pick.
win here. So we'll have to see. But draft, nothing too surprising just yet. The Pugna ban is a little bit different, but we have been seeing quite a bit of it recently. So Vici Gaming
DK's
prioritized the
turn to
first pick.
pick.
Alk, I don't think any huge surprises there, and DK are going to take the Clockwork.
They are just picking Alchemist really, really early, like just
Everyone
as a
is.
support.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody
is.
is.
Yeah.
I don't think DK does that. Like DK will pick some other heroes first, but not Alchemist.
Yeah. Do you think so? When we last cast
10
DK, they obviously had the
seconds
same
remaining.
latency issues, and we had a couple of disconnects here and there. And it actually almost
5
got them into a
seconds
pretty
remaining.
dangerous situation. They went to a third game, a decider, and then they just played super safe. Do you think that we're just going to see more of that safe
Radiant
style
team
from
pick.
them in this best of 3, or do you think they need to innovate a little bit to beat Vici Gaming?
They might change their draft accordingly because the ping is like about 200 from Malaysia and Singapore to the perfect world server. You can't play heroes like OD or Storm really effectively. Those heroes that require a lot of mechanical skills because of the slight delay and the lag.
Yeah, Mushi seemed to have a really hard time on Puck in the second
Yeah.
game, I think it
seconds
was.
remaining.
It just wasn't...
Try playing Puck on 300 ping.
Yeah,
Not fun.
5 seconds
definitely not
remaining.
fun. Bit hard to dodge some abilities. So DK just going to be picking up with the Rubik. I
Reserve
guess nice to
time.
have. Vici Gaming might have taken it for themselves. It's always good to have against the Clockwork. And Vici, what's actually still left? I feel like I've forgotten somebody, but I'm not 100% sure
Venomancer,
who.
Venomancer.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it is. Okay.
They ignored him like for quite some time already. Like nobody wants to pick him.
Radiant team
Well, everybody
ban.
was banning him, I feel, for the last week. I've seen Venomancer ban after Venomancer ban after Venomancer ban, but
And Venomancers always pick up in the first phase most of the time.
yeah, and I mean we've talked about it
DK's
before.
turn
He's
to ban.
he's okay off lane. He's very good mid. He pretty much shuts down any melee mid that you care to mention, and he's also a really good support. So neither team too interested in him. DK might still be able to go back for it, but Vici Gaming just opening up
10
with
seconds remaining.
the double aggressive roaming support. Really, they've got the Alchemist, they've got the Crystal
5
Maiden, so
seconds remaining.
we'll see what DK end up getting their hands on for mid. But whoever it is
Reserve
probably about to get roamed on a whole lot this game.
Yeah, they could possibly want to pick the Puck, like you said. The Puck can dodge a lot of the
Radiant
ganks
team
easily. But it's
Depending on
a
your
high
latency.
ping. Yeah, it's high ping again, so maybe they will not go to that route again.
DK's turn to ban.
We do have the Venomancer now banned out, so there we go. All is right with the world. And DK just going to get rid of just gonna get rid of a Weaver, interestingly enough. There's still... So last time that we saw them play what I would say a
20
safe
seconds
strat, it
remaining.
was like a DK and a Luna.
They might go for a Lifestealer here
5
because Viewer is
seconds remaining.
extremely good against Lifestealer, and in this situation, there's also no Vino, no OD. OD is also good at
Reserve
kiting the
time.
Lifestealer, and they have the Clockwork on their own team, so the Lifestealer can be a really good pickup in this situation. And they have one ban here to take out one counter towards the Lifestealer and pick the Lifestealer in the third pick.
Yeah, and
Maybe
Vici
the
Gaming...
Parrot.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming already have their 2 supports as well, so they don't need to worry about Bane, don't need to worry about Shadow Demon, really. So maybe you ban Bat or Razor? And then...
Unless they pick the Alchemist as a position 3, then they can pick the Bane.
Yeah, we have seen... There was LGD China doing that just yesterday, wasn't it?
They were the only ones doing it, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen anyone else do that.
Well, everybody keeps showing us new stuff with Alk, so maybe we're in for a surprise. I mean, we keep seeing it. We keep being like, oh yeah, it's going to be a support, but
DK's
teams do
turn
continue to
pick.
surprise, and actually ends up being a Clinks ban.
Yeah, he went from position 1 to position 2 to position 3 to position 4 to position 5. He went everywhere around the rows, Alchemist.
Yeah, he's had a bit of an adventure. So DK get rid of the Clinks. Are we maybe looking at something like a Chen here? There's already a Crystal Maiden. I guess it also sets up fairly well for the Lifestealer perhaps, but no, DK just
Radiant
very
team
similar draft to what we saw them play the other day against For Love. Just gonna go for the Luna here.
Yeah, and most likely the Chen will be the follow-up after the Luna as well, or the Lashrock.
Yeah, we actually saw the Rubik Lashrak work out fantastically for them the other day. It was that poor
I think it was-
Timbersaw. That poor Timbersaw.
Was it exactly the same heroes, Rubik, Lashrock, Luna, and Clock? I think it was.
I think it
10
was,
seconds
yeah.
remaining.
Yeah. I can't remember the last hero, but the first 4
5
heroes looks
seconds
like Clockwork,
remaining.
Rubik, Lashrock, and Luna.
Yeah, and then was the last hero just the Dragon Knight for mid?
Reserve
was that
time.
Oh
it?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's the Dragon Knight.
So DK have found a safe duo core strat with an offlane initiator that, for the most part, they seem to be able to force through. I mean, I'm not too surprised by any of Vici's bans. I don't think they've wasted any of their bans at all, but DK have just figured out the only premium hero, I guess, really is the Clockwork. Everybody else is fairly attainable in most drafts, I would say.
So they're going for the Bristleback
DK's turn
and
to
as their tanking core. I don't think they'll be using him as a safe lane, more likely the off lane.
So Vici Gaming, I guess, ready to take some early game fights here. If DK are looking for this push strat, they've taken the Luna. Then getting in their faces early can be a great way to
Radiant team
deal with
pick.
that before the tower gold starts to pool up too much and you're fighting uphill the rest of the way. So Vici Gaming, they see some push from DK,
DK's
but they're just going to
turn
grab
to ban.
themselves a Bristle and a Chen, and looks like that's going to actually bump our Alchemist up a little bit away
He
from
just
4
got
5.
he just got promoted.
Yeah. So
Maybe the mid lane is where he can go. He can still go to the
10
mid lane if they
seconds
want
remaining.
to. Like the offlane Alchemist, I wouldn't say it's a really
5
effective thing,
seconds
because if you don't
remaining.
get ganks off like we saw the other day, where the first time round LGD ran it, the Alchemist Shell
Reserve
8 got a
time.
lot of ganks off and he had a good start. But the other day, yesterday, I think we saw him having a really tough time at start because he took out acid spray to defend the push and he was level 1 all the time and he can't have a stun to gank. And he started with boots.
I guess the one thing is, for DK, are you afraid? So, do you think Rubik Luna Lashrak is afraid of Crystal Maiden Bristleback Chen? Because if you're not and you're DK, you can choose to go aggressive and then try and get the Clockwork
10
1v1 against the
seconds
Alchemist.
remaining.
And Clockwork 1v1 against Alch should be pretty good. So
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think they should commit 3 heroes to bottom lane. If they want to, they can just leave the Luna +1, but it's much safer
Radiant
to have the
team
Luna
ban.
on the safe side of the map to protect him. Like if they do something like that and the CM, let's say the CM just starts at the jungle and the Chen goes to your jungle to create pressure, then if your supports have to rotate to protect the other lanes, Luna will be stuck bottom without support, and in the end you will have to
10
send the Luna
seconds
top
remaining.
and Clockwork bottom again. So it will be a lot of wasted time.
5 seconds
And I guess the other thing
remaining.
is as well that you can, if DK bring 3 heroes down there, they can just leave the Bristleback to soak
Reserve
experience,
time.
and then the Chen and the Crystal Maiden can be ganking your 2 solos, no matter
Yeah.
what. So there's no guarantee that you can pin anybody down there by committing 3 heroes. And what do you make of this anti-mage ban? I think I have seen Vici in the past do sort of the bristleback controls the early to mid game to try and make space for the AM. So you've got 4 heroes, 4 manning around the map, and then later on you transition to the anti-mage being your being your security. But there are also, of course, other ways to play this bristleback. Vici Gaming could still just go all in for the early to mid game and get all the strength out of their Chen.
Yeah, we will only know what direction they are going for after their last pick. The
DK's
anti-mage
turn
is
to
like
pick.
they don't want Vici Gaming to have something to fall back on, something really strong. Anti-mage split push is going to be really strong against the Luna 5-man, so they don't want that to happen just in case they lose the early game, because Vici still have a really good early game lineup with the CM and the Chen. Like you said, they can use the CM and the Chen and the Alchemist to fight early. If they win the fight early and they have an Alchemist, sorry, not the Alchemist, the anti-mage as their safe lane
10
safe lane
seconds
hero,
remaining.
it'll be close to impossible after that for DK if they lose the early
5
game versus our
seconds
anti-mage.
remaining.
And DK, what are they going to go for here? They've only got a couple of seconds left.
Mushi's hero.
Queen
Yeah,
of
this is very
Okay.
this lineup
Radiant
is just
team
very
pick.
very common when you see Mushi drafting.
Yeah. Is it actually Mushi drafting? The last thing
Yeah,
I
he
heard
is.
was that Burning was drafting.
He is drafting now.
Okay, so he's back to drafting, is he? Okay.
I don't know, maybe for the online tournament, but not the LAN events. I'm not very sure.
Okay,
But
I'm
MLG
confused because we don't have any indicators, which is the most frustrating thing.
This is 100% a Mushi draft.
10
No
seconds
questions.
remaining.
Mushi picks
Okay.
heroes like this.
Okay, so
5
If you,
seconds
find that
if you
really
see a
interesting.
if you see a CK waves early, it's not burning. It's not a Mushi, it's burning drafting.
okay.
10 seconds
Well, I
remaining.
guess it's good, right? You can have 2 different drafters with 2 different styles, and
5 seconds
there's
remaining.
the enemy team actually knows who's drafting, but we don't. I think that's the most frustrating thing. If you're in the draft interface, you both see the little crown on the
Yeah,
person
the
that's
captain.
the person that's the captain, but we don't. So we have no idea, and we can only speculate, which is kind of frustrating. So Valve, please, if you're listening, let us know who is the captain. But anyway.
Yeah, why would they let the players see and not the observers? Like the players know who is the captain and they don't need to know who is the captain.
I think it's
Like,
just an oversight. Like, I don't know. It was intentional by any means.
yeah, probably they'll just add it like sometime soon. It's really difficult to tell. Like from the caster's point of view, you have no idea who's the drafter, who's the captain.
Yeah, and being the captain as far as the draft is concerned obviously doesn't mean
10
that you are
seconds
the
remaining.
in-game captain, the shot caller, anything like that. But still nice to know.
5 seconds.
So just
And
waiting on
don't-
everybody to pick up their heroes.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I got this one right. It's a Mushi drafting.
Okay.
It's a Queen of Fame.
Yeah, of course. And Mushi even on lag is apparently gonna show off his quap a
Prepare
little
for
bit. So
battle.
guys, welcome back. This is the Sina Cup second season. This is our second semi-final. That's a mouthful. And this is Vici Gaming versus DK in game 1. So over on DK, we're gonna have Burning handling your Luna. We've got MMY or Die on the Rubik. Mushi's gonna be heading towards mid on his legendary Queen of Pain. Lanham is going to be on the Leshrac, and Ice, the other kind of laggy guy in this game, is gonna be on the Clockwork.
I think ISS lacks less than Mushi. On the Radiant side, we have our TK on the offlane Bristleback, Fenrir on the Chen. We have FY playing the CM, Super playing the Alchemist, Min Solo Mid Alchemist, and Syla playing the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, so one thing that I was actually talking about today, and I guess this is maybe, I don't know, you might not know, Winter, but so for Vici Gaming, they weren't allowed to use Sylar during WPC Ace because he was on another
yeah,
team when the transfer happened. You're not allowed to have stand-ins or players from other
Basically,
teams.
you can't play in the same tournament for 2 teams because he
Yeah.
was playing for Rising Star. So when they transferred him to Vici Gaming, he still can't play for Vici because he already played in the Ace League for Rising Stars.
Yeah, and then do you know at all if that's going to affect the playoffs as well, which are starting
I
on
don't
like
know.
the 21st or something? I'm hoping not. But we'll
some
see.
events allow roster changes after playoffs. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'd have to check the rules. I was just wondering if you knew off the top of your head. So we've got some ping spamming going on right now over on Team DK. So it looks like a bit of fierce communication going on between Die and
There's something I want to tell you. Do you know what MMY means? Like his name means?
No.
Have you ever heard anyone tell you?
No. What does it mean?
It means Mao Mao Ya, furry duck. No, seriously.
That's not very intimidating.
I don't know why he changed from Weapon X to this name.
Yeah.
Something must have happened in between.
I guess when he maybe when he transitioned from mid to support, he was like, "Look, I'm no longer the man I used to be. I am now the fuzzy duck."
So from Weapon X to Fuzzy Duck, that's a super downgrade.
I don't know. I think his support play has been really impressive. I mean, I used to follow him very closely as a mid back in the day, and there was always the question of, okay, how well is he going to do on support? But he's really impressed so far, I have to say.
I think a good player has to be able to play and understand multiple roles in a game. Actually, not multiple roles. You have to understand every single role.
Yeah. Yeah, to be a good carry, you need to understand what your supports are up to and the decisions that they want to make, and same goes for every role pairing, I guess. So, yeah, I didn't know that, Winter. Thank you very much for the heads up, but I don't know if I'll call him Fuzzy Duck at all.
I remembered you pronouncing Xiaohong really well in Mandarin, so I thought you would be able to pronounce Mamoya really good as well.
Okay, I'm always super interested, and for the players as well, you know, I like to call them what they want to be called and things like that. So especially, I feel kind of bad when there's a name that I'm like, oh god, I can't pronounce it, I can't read it. So yeah, thanks for the heads up, Winter. Looks like do we have lag issues or?
They said they went to toilet.
Ah, okay.
Apparently.
But they were here to pick their heroes. Never mind. So it looks like we are going to get ourselves underway with the game now, guys. So lanes are panning out right now. I don't think we have anything too interesting going on as far as starting items are concerned. Ice has been pulled up a little bit. He's got some shared tangos. Mushi is also being pulled, so the DK supports are running a little bit light in terms of regen. They've got one smoke picked up so far. Vici Gaming, pretty aggressive trip up into the dire jungle right now. Not blocking at any camp, just trying to get some good vision as to where the supports are going to be. So hopefully that's going to leave RTK to be able to grab a little bit of extra experience. But so far it seems pretty standard from what I can see. I guess the one thing that is maybe a little bit unusual, we've got this Alchemist versus Quap matchup on mid, and what are your thoughts on this one, Winter?
He's gonna get raped really hard. He has to just spam acid. Yeah, there's nothing much he can do in this lane. It's really straightforward. He's gonna be focusing on just getting his levels and helping his team. He can't win the matchup unless Mushi makes a mistake.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, the Alchemist can actually put down some reasonable harassment just by running in with a concoction, getting maybe 2 points in spray by level 3 just to try and secure a little bit of his own farm. But yeah, you're right. He's not expected at all to win the matchup. Once he gets level 6, he's fairly survivable, and you're pretty much gonna have to bring him from full to 0. I guess also the other thing that's changed with this is that Poison Sting is a little bit worse than it used to be at level 1.
30 extra mana from 80 to 110.
Yeah, so something else to keep in mind, but so far things just kind of as expected. Ice is just gonna pull up some creeps. And
he was really safe, Mushi. He skilled Blink at level 1, even though he blocked the creeps right up his ramp. He was really afraid that the CM might turn up and gank him because they saw the CM picking up a haste rune.
Okay, so and I guess the other thing as well is you got to be really afraid of Chen Crystal Maiden ganks. If they find a good creep and smoke, that could just be Mushi dead. There's enough lockdown to keep him there to charge up a concoction and get the kill.
Yeah, they're gonna be just farming the CM in the jungle and Chen on the other side of the map. Hopefully they'll be able to use some of the space there to get a good early levels on the supports and rotate. Do they have a smoke? Yeah, they have a smoke early on. So maybe when CM reaches level 3 with an aura and a nova, then they will just smoke and try to get Mushi.
Yeah, and these early ganks could be critical. Both team supports should be quite easily able to gank the opposing mid. So Super and Mushi, how aggressively they choose to play, there's always this question of, okay, can we see the supports? Do we have an idea of where they are? And that's where, for Vici Gaming, this ward that they chose to place at the start of the game is really helping out, because Super has full information as to where the supports are, and if you can't see them on that ward, then they're probably trying to kill him.
Yeah, that ward was really good for them in this sort of scenario. Now the smoke gang comes from the CM and the Chen. Are they going to catch the clockwork? Oh, the clockwork revealed the smoke, and they didn't manage to do anything to him.
So Ice reveals the smoke, steals the double damage, and then just walks back into the lane. He's going to drop his cog. He does get netted. The rocket barrage is coming in. It looks like he won't be able to kill off Ice. And he's got all of that extra regen up his sleeve as well. So he's just fine.
Yeah, he did a really good job there to reveal the smoke, and without obviously he wouldn't know the smoke was coming, but he just wanted to go control the rune, but he was just at the right place at the right time. And he wasn't in a really particular position where they could take advantage of him alone in the river.
Yeah. DK is still kind of just hanging out up top lane. RTK has managed to grab level 2. He's almost level 3. Ice, same kind of story, about to reach level 3 as well. Both offlaners are being really efficient in terms of how annoying they're being. They're both getting, whenever there's some supports running a pull, they make their way across, try and steal a couple of creeps, steal their share of the experience, and yeah, so far game's panning out fairly evenly, I would say.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah,
is
the
under
advantage
attack.
would definitely be on the Chen side, but after missing one smoke gang there, I think the experience are both almost the same, maybe. We'll look at the supports. Level 3 on the Rubik, level 2.5 on the Lashrock. Chen is level 3. CM is also level 2.5, so it's about the same.
I do feel that there's a little bit more pressure on DK to do stuff first, I guess, in this game, because you've got a Queen of Pain on mid, you've got a Clockwork on the off lane. Neither of them are... I mean, Queen of Pain's a reasonable flash farmer, but you really want your Clockwork to be moving around and setting things up once he has the levels, and the same kind of story for your Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Vici Gaming, it's pretty much a full Tricore. I don't think they're too unhappy if they're the one sitting back waiting for fights and just farming up. But what are you expecting? Is it just going to be
Radiant's
Alchemist
bottom
farming,
tower
or
is
are we
under
maybe going to
attack.
be seeing more of the early to mid game build that we do see some teams going for with Medi and
Dire's
Mac?
middle tower is
I
under
think he
attack.
would probably go for the early Mac to help his team. Because they have a Chen, they want to abuse the creeps to take down towers, so if he goes for a more farming orientated build, they would have to forego the early advantage they have with the Chen creeps.
Yeah, and when you pick up the Chen, you really do want to use that early game power. And it's part of the expectations as well. You pick the Chen, you think, okay, look, we're probably going to get at least 2 tier 2s down before such and such time. And, well, Fenrir and FY now smoking up.
Smoke again.
Yeah, looking for bottom lane, I suppose. They're not actually looping around, however, which I find a little bit surprising. Sylar's got a Bassi. It's very easy for him to push the wave straight into the tower, but instead, FY and Fenrir approaching from
They
the
have
front right now.
They have 2 TPs on DK. Queen of Pain has the teleport scroll, Lashrock as well. So if they try to dive the tower here, both of them TPing to support, especially the Queen of Pain level 6 now, it could turn out really bad for them.
Yeah, and Mushi even went for the point in Sonic Wave at 6, so he's anticipating maybe having to participate fairly
Mid lane,
soon.
mid lane. Mushi is
There's
in
a
trouble.
haste on Super. He's looping around back behind the tower. The stun's coming in along with the bite. Mushi, the nuke as well from the Sassier brings him down. TP support coming in from MMY, but he might also be in some trouble. Lanham backing him up. Super, half of this haste rune left. They're going to get another bite out onto the Rubik. Downhill goes Super, charging up the stun. Lobs it out onto Lanham. FY is fairly low on hit points right now, however, and Ice has joined this fight low on mana. He got the battery assault down, but not enough for a cog. Not enough for another rocket flare, and looks like FY should just be able to escape. So, Vici Gaming, things looking pretty good. Managed to pick up 2 kills out of that, and also keeping the Queen of Pain down, importantly.
Yeah, that was the strength of their lineup earlier, because they have three stuns from... 2 stuns from the CM and the Alchemist there. So Queen of Pain would definitely die into... Oh, there's 2 straight lockdowns there. There's no
Mushi
chance.
gets stunned. Lanham's still here, however. Gonna throw out the Edict, the Illusion, soaking it up, and Super just keeps on chopping away. Might even
He's
be able to
dead.
finish off this kill
doesn't have
on
boost.
Lanham. Yeah,
Radiant's
phase
top
boot's just about to
tower
cool
is
down.
under attack.
MMY is here as well. Super now trying to turn tail and run. He's still got a little bit of his ultimate left. Couple of bottle sips. Might be able to get them out. Mushi jumps in aggressively. Concoction being
Oh
channeled.
no.
Super,
Oh, no.
can he find a target? Looks like he is just going to be sent back to base, and it's only a rank 2 concoction, so it's not going to end up killing him off.
Oh, I was a bit surprised that Mushi didn't try to stick nearby, because he had enough mana for a blink and a scream, and they had vision of where the Alchemist was exactly at.
So Mushi just playing things fairly defensively. I guess the thing is, if you lag a little bit and you blink on top of an Alchemist with a stun, then he could get the stun off, and you could very well die if the Chen gets a little bit lucky with his nuke damage.
Yeah,
So, but Mushi's just playing defensively.
Yeah, that was just a good opportunity that I felt for him. Like usually he would just go for the kill, but maybe because of the lag and he wanted to just play a bit more defensive.
Yeah, I haven't actually checked the pings this game, so I'll do that right now while we have a little bit of a lull for anybody interested. So for everybody that's actually in China, it's about 100. Mushi is sitting at 200, and Ice is about 200 as well. That's probably fluctuating a little bit here and there.
The ping is not like the huge issue. Like I tried to play before, it's the packet loss that's the main problem. It's sometimes at 10 or 15%. It's really difficult to play.
Oh, okay. Yeesh. Yeah, that doesn't sound very pleasant. Because then you're rubber banding around the place, and some of your actions aren't actually being sent through to the server.
This is the third smoke already from
Ice, Sylar gets jumped on bottom lane, but he's just going to drop the call then on the Rocket Barrage. Can he get another Rocket Barrage down? He's going to try and go for the kill on Lanham. Is able to pick it up, so it ends up being 1 for 1. Ice getting a lot of experience out of that.
Yeah,
and as
and
you said,
Vici,
another smoke from Vici.
Vici, I don't think they'll be able to get any kills right now because it'll be increasingly suspicious that if you see Mushi sees the lane empty and they didn't send any support to protect Sylar there. So it's very obvious that something is going on
Radiant's
top.
bottom tower is under
Burning
attack.
and Die, they sense it right now. They're just sitting underneath the tower. Do they have... There's a TP on Lanham, so he's ready to go. Super. Moving around.
Eclipse is 15 seconds. No Eclipse yet.
Burning doesn't have the Eclipse. Midas going down as well. He runs as far away as he can from the stun. MMY runs in, gets hit by the Centaur Stomp. RTK running in as well. Burning already brought down. MMY, one more right click from the Chen. Finishes him off. Mushi's up here as well. He's still got the ultimate. Lanham fishing for a stun, but just going to end up being a double for Vici Gaming and no response from DK whatsoever.
It's very hard for them to fight without the Eclipse there. There was not enough damage. Even if they tried to take the fight without the Eclipse, they would not be able to take that fight. The Chen has a heal, and all the AoE from Vici Gaming is far more superior there. The Alchemist stun as an engage would be instant death to one hero from just right before the fight.
Yeah, and I think Mushi used his, I think he used his hook shot on bottom lane as well, finding the kill on Sylar, so another difficulty to trying to take that fight on top. And I guess one thing to point out is that Ice has actually gone for a pretty defensive build this game, choosing to max out the Rocket Flare. Is this just to deal with the Chen push?
It's for dealing with the push, and if you are Clockwork in this situation against the Acid Spray and Bristleback and the Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage, you really don't want to be near there casting your battery assault. As soon as you hook in, you cogs, you want to get out as soon as possible. So having more points in the rocket is better. Here comes the Alchemist. It's gonna catch up the Rubik.
Super, finds die. Gets stunned, getting burned down as well. Ice is gonna drop a nice cog, but there's still a call down coming in. Gets out just in time before the second round of drops. And looks like MMY should just be able to escape.
Yeah, the momentum now is still firmly in Vici Gaming's hands with the Chen creeps and the heroes with higher levels now because of all the kills.
Yeah, and well, Graph's not showing exactly that, but we've almost got a mech picked up on the Chen. He's about 600, 700 gold away from that one. Mushi just going to find an illusion rune. He's just been kind of wandering around for the time being. Hasn't really been able to do any serious farming. And Burning has actually made his way bottom lane right now. So it looks like they're trying to go for a trade.
The XP graph is in favor of DK because of the Midas. No one on Vici Gaming has a Midas. And Burning has a Midas. Chen almost has his mech already.
Yeah, and DK looks like they are going to actually end up getting the trade out of this. Fortification's already been used for the Radiant. Burning picks up the last hit on the tower. DK Hero still wandering around mid. The tornado is being a little bit annoying, but DK still managing to hold, and they've got the threat of Ice jumping in. Super in some trouble, but the Hand of God pops. Going to send him back in time. Looks like he is going to be... No, not alright. Burning comes in with the beam, finishes him off. Nicely done there by DK, only just barely getting the Alchemist.
Yeah, if they didn't even have one extra spell there, they would have not gotten the kill. They just had enough, just enough.
Yeah, and if Chen had his mech, though he's still 500 gold away, then would have been able to save him as well. So DK, that actually worked out great. They got a tower, they got the last hit, they got a kill, and they hold their tier 1.
But it was also quite surprising that in that situation, Super had close 1001 or 1200 gold. He had enough for Vitality booster. Most of the alchemists from the Chinese team solo mid will get an early Vitality booster.
Yeah, and even if you just want to pick up, say, an urn for your team, just to tank up that little bit, Yeah, as we have been seeing a lot of alchemists these days, just to compensate for the loss of HP on their ult, just buy the casual VIP booster in the early stages of the game. But yeah, Super does end up going down, finds a haste. Vici Gaming still have their sights set on this tier 1
Dire's
mid,
bottom tower
DK.
is under attack.
Well, Burning's up top, he does have a TP scroll ready, but yeah, it looks like nobody's too interested in dealing with this push. Mushi's just going to jump down bottom, grab a little bit of flash farm, and looks like both Mushi and Burning right now just moving towards BKBs as their first items.
They need to have the BKBs to take a fight. Before they have BKBs, it's very hard for them to take a fight. Like, nobody can go in first. Whoever goes in first will die.
Yeah, and I think this is, again, as we were talking about with Ice, is part of the reason that he's gone for this slightly more conservative build. There are so many heroes on Vici Gaming that you just don't want to jump in on top of. Maybe the Crystal Maiden, but Gyrocopter, Bristleback, even the Alchemist at this point is a little bit scary to try and jump. So DK just looking for some more trades. Burning's gonna stay up on top lane. Vici swing down bot. They've almost got their mech finished up on Fenrir. RTK, not a whole lot of farm, but still fairly relevant at this point. And DK just gonna keep on spamming. Even Lanham has picked up 2 points in Lightning Storm.
I actually didn't realize
Radiant's
Space
top
Gate.
tower is
RTK
under
has
attack.
only 12 last hits. He's like the lowest last hits.
Yeah, he's pretty poor. In his defense, we didn't see the DK supports really move away from top lane that early. I think the first time that Lanham left the lane was probably when they went and ganked Sylar bot, so there was definitely some pressure on RTK in the early game.
But however, I didn't expect him to be that
Dire's
poor.
bottom
He would be
tower is
poor,
under
but not that
attack.
poor. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I thought he might
he's,
get a little
he's
more.
poorer than his supports.
Yeah, the supports are a lot richer than him.
Yeah, so do we have that mech finished up for Fenrir? Yes, we do. Sylar, what's he working towards? Just heading straight towards the BKB. FY's managed to grab himself a Midas, so Crystal
The first
Maiden going to be
Midas.
able to grab a couple of relevant items for the later stages of the game.
Yeah, the CM with a Midas is actually extremely good if you can get it really early and not get punished for it. Like VG is in a good situation right now in the game. They're controlling the tempo, so having the Midas is going to further extend your lead and make sure that you said the CM will be really relevant later on.
Yeah, I like it quite a
Radiant's
bit on a
top
support
tower
like the
is under
Crystal
attack.
Maiden because you've already got somebody handling the mech. Somebody else has bought an urn. Maybe you could have put that gold towards a Force Staff, but your Force Staff is only going to be to save other people. You're not really going to be using it to position yourself aggressively. But if you go for the Midas, there's a chance that you can make Freezing Field an actual team fight ability later on by grabbing, say, a BKB and a Force Staff and just jumping into fights. And that could even just be a great way to force the enemy team's carries to pop their BKBs, and then your team initiates. And having that kind of power as just a Crystal Maiden can be great.
Yeah, her ultimate is actually very powerful for a support. Like even into late game, it deals so much damage that it's really worth investing the money and time for a support like CM to build something like a BKB.
Yeah, DK just moving down, placing a couple of wards that are unlikely to be dewarded. Vici, 3-man smoke,
Oh, they're
heading
gonna
down
catch
here. Looks like they are
Ice.
going to catch out Ice. He drops the cog. He's going to try and get his supports out of here, but Lanham also being
Hook
chased
shot.
down by a homing missile. Ice tries to get the hook shot out of there, but won't be able to do so. MMY is going to be able to TP, and Lanham just books it back to the tier 1 tower.
Even if he managed to hook shot out, there was still a chance that he might still die. But they were just lucky that they lost only one because Ice reacted really quickly. If he hadn't dropped the cogs there before he got stunned, they would have lost more than one hero.
Do you think he should have used the hookshot to try and save himself? Because now he's going to respawn. They've got a fortification on this tower, but I don't think they can really defend without the hook initiation from the clock. Are they close to the BKBs? I guess that's the other question.
Radiant's top tower
I
is
don't
under
think it should
attack.
be much of an issue because the
Dire's
cooldown isn't
bottom
really
tower
that
is
huge,
under
and
attack.
if he were able to
Radiant
save himself there, he
structures
would be
are
able to
fortified.
cast a few rocket flares and slow down the push even further. So it was okay to try and escape. Like there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it looks like everything worked out just fine in the end anyway. Burning was able to go and hit the tier 1 top a little bit, forced him back. He's picked up his BKB. Mushi getting pretty close to his Mithril Hammer right now, and DK still just in general holding onto their map control fairly well. We are going to have a 3-man smoke from them right now. And this looks like this ward that they placed a little bit earlier might be able to spot them a kill. Sylar's almost finished his BKB as well.
Mushi is still quite far from his BKB. He doesn't even have the recipe yet. He needs a whole hammer right now. 1,600 probably in another 3 to 4 or 5 minutes.
And
Oh,
DK
they're
looking
gonna
towards
spot
Silo right now. They
Sina.
threaten the hookshot, but he actually flies across onto FY and Fenrir. What are they going to be able to do here? Looks like Ice might be bursted down. He's right in the middle of 4 Vici Gaming heroes.
That was
send you back to the promised
definitely
land.
not part of the plan. He wanted to hook shot on Sila.
Yeah, I think that that second hook might have even been just faking it out a second time and then maybe wasn't able to cancel, because I don't think there was any plan in Ice's mind where you hook onto a Crystal Maiden underneath your tier 1 tower with a Chen right there and everybody else.
Yeah, that was definitely a really horrible spot to try and fight. Like, against the Chen and the Gyrocopter, that two alone is really difficult to go into. If you dive in there, you will be caught in a very tough spot.
DK just throwing down as much spam as they can while Burning approaches this tier 1 tower top lane. So Vici are going to be forced to make a decision about what they're going to end up doing here. They have already popped off their mech as well. So yeah, Vici back off pretty safely, not going to let themselves get caught up by DK. Super runs in top lane, gets the stun on Burning, but there isn't any real backup.
Radiant's top
Tower is going to be
under
brought
attack.
down into deny range right now. So it looks like Super should be able to get this deny as well.
They might even consider like getting, like, I saw
Radiant's
Alliance
top
games
tower
when this
has
sort of
been
situation
denied.
where Loda is playing the Gyrocopter and the enemy carry has a Midas. He actually goes for a Midas like after his BKB or before completing his BKB to compensate in the lack of Midas. Like, you farm a lot less than the Luna in this scenario.
Yeah, I think at this point Sylar could maybe even just consider going for the Dominator. They haven't had a Chen creep stacking up the Ancients or anything, so assuming that they're able to hold on to their tier 1 tower mid, which I think they should be able to do so, I think the Dominator pays off similarly. But I think it depends on how much 5-manning he's planning to do. The Midas probably pays off a little bit better if you're sticking with your team a whole lot.
Yeah, the Helm of Dominator is only very, very effective if you get a lot of stacks off. Like, if you want to just farm the
Radiant's
lanes
top
and the jungle,
tower
Hand
is
of
under
Midas gives
attack.
you more farm than the Helm of Dominator.
And speaking of Midas, Mushi's actually gone back for one right now.
What? Queen of Pain. There's gonna be another one too, on the last shot.
Is Lanham, what's he got?
He has the gloves. And
Yeah, okay. Might just be treads. I say optimistically, but I doubt it. I think DK just feel pretty confident about their ability to stall behind these tier 2s. And Vici haven't really been too aggressive. I mean, they've got some nice wards down over on the dire side of the map, but we haven't really seen them trying to make any smoke movements. For the most part, they've just been trying to 5-man and force fights. And I don't think that's bad. I think they are definitely ahead, but DK just continue to evade them and split push lanes at the right times to prevent them actually forcing down a tier 2.
Yeah, and the Rubik meanwhile is farming with his flat cannon. Stolen. But I'm pretty sure that they would always go for the Midas in the last rock. They've done it a lot of times. When they pick last rock
Radiant's
as their
middle
support,
tower is
he
under
always
attack.
goes for the Midas after getting 2 braces. It's almost the same build.
Yeah, I guess it's a similar argument to the Crystal Maiden, right? Like, you could spend 2k gold on something, or you could invest and maybe be able to finish up a BKB later on and, you know, make your damage in general a little bit more
Last rock
relevant.
needs a lot more than a CM though.
Yeah, he needs a lot. And Vici Gaming, sick of not being able to push down the tier
Dire's
2
bottom
mid,
tower is
just gonna
under
end up going
attack.
down for the tier 1 bottom lane. No contest from DK. They're just gonna be
But
pushing at the other.
Dire's
Mushi got the
bottom
denial.
tower has been
That was really
denied.
good for them.
Oh wow, very nicely done by Mushi.
They're gonna try and defend with the Lightning Storm next from the last rock, but it's gonna be really difficult like the next time out. Like, they can just rush them with the BKB on the
Radiant's top
Gyrocopter.
tower
So the
is
last rock
under
has to always
attack.
be careful of his positioning if he's trying to spam his Lightning Storm.
Yeah, but again, DK just Burning has been sitting top lane this whole time, and he manages to force Super to
Yeah.
TP to
They want to
respond
try
him.
and kill Super. Isata is there.
Ice. Can he find the line?
Maybe now.
Maybe. They don't know where the rest of Vici Gaming is. He's gonna hook in. Can he get the cog down? The battery assault doing good damage, but there's an immediate TP
Oh,
reaction
Ice gonna
and
die.
the stun out onto Ice. Burning. Is he really gonna try and fight this? He pops off the Eclipse. He pops the BKB. He's going all in, but Sylar's here as well. They will be able to bring down Ice with one more auto attack, and Burning's just being focused. He's gonna try and TP out, but the right click from the 3 cores on Vici Gaming brings him down.
He really should have ditched like as soon as that happened. Like Isata didn't hit his hook, but he was timing the hook to to get it on the Alchemist when he was taking the last creep, the range creep, but he missed it, and they really should have just
Radiant's
left him to
bottom
die there.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, and I mean, even once you miss the hook, I think you might have been able to just start running down the lane, and maybe you both survive. But they even chased in a little bit after the hook shot missed.
Yeah, and the Alchemist lobs, the lob range from that was really far, so the clockwork was definitely there. There was no questions about that. But Luna had to ditch him. Like, he tried to fight and use his ultimate. BKB committed heavily to it, and from then on there was no turning back for Bunny.
Yeah, and now Burning, no ult for a minute and a half. BKB is on cooldown for a little bit. He is going to be respawning soon, and I'm actually a little bit surprised that Vici Gaming don't try and force that a little bit more. They don't have Fenrir there. He's just trying to grab level 11 down on bot. But even with 4 heroes, I think maybe you can still finish off the tier 2. But Vici are just playing things very safe right now.
Yeah, and Syla opted to go for the Helm of Dominator, like you mentioned, just for the lifesteal. Gives him much more damage and survivability in the fights now. Like, if he goes for a Midas, it means he's much weaker than his state right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is, if you say that they're comparable in terms of farming potential, if you use them both correctly, obviously the Dominator's a little bit more difficult. You know, you got a micro and you got to protect your stack and things like that. But attack speed on the Gyrocopter also not your best stat in general to have. So the Midas is good for farm, but I guess armor damage and lifesteal can't really be overlooked.
Yeah, he's one of those few carries that just damage. He benefits on raw damage. He doesn't need attack speed as much as other carries just because of the limitations of Flat Cannon, and he wants to do as much damage during the Flat Cannon instead of trying to attack as fast as possible.
What is this? Okay. That Thunderhide is a bit weird.
Yeah, he didn't move and they didn't stack the... sort of stuck there.
Oh. Lanham gets caught by super bottom lane.
He got solo killed. Wow.
Yeah, Mushi was there as well, but just nothing that he can do against the Alk. So Super just picks up a Sanj so far, just kind of tanking up as much as he can. Let's actually check in on items. So RTK is working towards a BKB. We've got Fenrir, who's got a gem. Mech, I think he's level 11 now as well. FY working towards that Force Staff. Having his Hand of Midas. Could also maybe be a Yule's, but I'm just anticipating the Force right now.
I think the Force Staff is a must against a Clockwork. There's no other items that you should go for against Clockwork. Like, if you try and get a use, that's not going to help you.
Yeah, what does it help? Yeah.
And Mushi went for Axe Scepter instead of a BKB. More split pushing.
Yeah, Super, he spotted him. Mushi is going to get stunned, but there isn't really anybody else in the neighborhood. But can Super finish this by himself? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so. Mushi just blinks back, and looks like he's going to be alright. Mushi, with the Midas, should be moving towards level 16 pretty quickly, so I think he is going to get the value out of this Ags. But it looks like DK right now, they've just made the call, okay? Stall the Vici Gaming 5-man push as much as we possibly can. Keep split pushing with our Luna and our Queen of Pain. And they're feeling pretty confident, I guess, for the late game.
Because of the hands.
Yes. Many hands. Many hands make light work. Lanham's also got his Hand of Midas finished, as you were talking about earlier.
So it's 3 versus 1, 2, 3 versus 1. And if VG Gaming let this game go really far, it could be a really awkward situation where DK not having the better late game because DK has 2 cores, but because of the Midas, making their late game super strong afterwards.
Yeah, and Vici, I'm not sure how many big items they have to wait around for at this point. They got a BKB up on the Bristleback. The Gyrocopter's got 2.4k after having finished up that Dominator. He's got his little Satyr working away.
You're dead, and that's a cold,
not even a Satyr's troll, but Mushi gets caught out bottom lane, so I've missed 2 kills bot. Sorry about that, guys. But Winter, did you catch what happened? And another kill on
he got stunned by the Alchemist and a Freezing Field. Then he was just dead because he took basically the full damage from the Freezing Field. There's nothing he can do about it. He didn't have BKB. He has no way of escaping that sticky situation because he went for the Midas and Axe Scepter. I was actually quite surprised that he went for this build. Like, I thought the BKB is a very necessary item in this situation for a co-op.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming, they get 2 pickoffs around the map. They swing straight into the Roshan pit, pick up the Aegis and the Gyrocopter. They spot a little stack over at the Dire Ancients as well, so just going to clean that up. On their way over to the well, to the bottom tier 2, and Burning's gonna do his best to push out top lane. He's got a Yasha, and he's got an Eagle Song picked up, but DK, as soon as they falter a
Dire's
little
bottom
bit
tower
in
is
keeping
under
everything
attack.
pressured out, that's when Vici do get a bit of a hold back into the game. It looks like this time around, they're
Radiant's
considering
top
not
tower
backing
is
off
under
to
attack.
deal with Burning. They're just gonna go in on this tier
Dire's
2.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, that's what they can do. Spam a Sonic Wave.
Radiant structures are
And they've got an
fortified.
acid spray stolen for MMY
Radiant's
as well.
top tower
Meanwhile,
is
Burning,
under attack.
pretty much by himself, bringing down this tier 2. TP's going back from Sylar. He's going to be the first to land. Tower actually down in deny range right now, but Sylar not too healthy. Fight actually breaking out on bottom lane. Ice has Ice with a hook shot in, but he's in some trouble. Will be hit by the Crystal Nova. Brought down. DK still kind of moving in here, but Burning not joining the fight, and just going to be DK losing another hero. Neither team losing their tier 2.
Yeah, they tried to take a fight. They wanted to take a fight earlier as soon as they saw the Gyrocopter TPing out, but the position of VG heroes after
Radiant's
that point
top
was
tower
a
has
bit too
been
far
denied.
for the rest of the heroes to follow up.
Radiant's
And after
middle
Clockwork
tower is
Cooking,
under
his teammates
attack.
couldn't really help him because they were too far.
Yeah, and Vici keep getting these really nice wards down over on the dire side of the map. They've got some good vision back behind the tier 2 mid now. Meanwhile, on mid lane, Mushi jumps in aggressively with the blink, just gonna pop the invis and we'll be able to walk away here. I've got Butterfly finished for Burning, but Vici Gaming, I think things are about as good as they get for a little while. You've got an Aegis, you've got a couple of freshly completed items on 1 or 2 heroes. And do you think they wait around? Super's actually got 4k gold, so I guess he can start working on an AC or something. But they just have to, I guess, maybe find one pick-off, and then they can start bringing down tier 2s. DK will still be really annoying as far as not letting Vici Gaming onto their side of their map.
They have to be careful about the Luna because the Luna now can push basically faster than the whole team of VG, almost as fast because of the glaives, and if they try to push as 5 and DK are able to stall the push, the Luna will be able to deal a lot of structural damage towards Vici Gaming. They have to be really careful towards that.
Yeah, and they don't even really have a hero that's that great at dealing with the Luna split push. I mean, maybe you can have I don't even know what you can do. There's no way to stop
Mushi.
a BKB TP. Mushi playing pretty aggressively mid.
Dire's middle tower
The Alchemist
has
went
fallen.
for a backing bar instead of a Assault Cuirass. Everyone is getting a BKB. There's 3 BKBs on other cores now, Vici. Maybe they look to push this because Burning is not pushing top. The lane that it has their tier 3 exposed, Burning is pushing bottom. So it's going to be a good time if VG wants to
Radiant's
push
bottom
middle. No,
tower
they're going to
is
just
under
defend the
attack.
tower.
Super TPing back. Rest of Vici moving back as a group, not risking any pickoffs here from DK. So Vici, for their part as well, they're playing this very disciplined. There's been a couple of moments where they've been forced back by the split push, but they've never been caught out while they're retreating, and I think that is definitely to their credit, especially when you're up against a Clockwork.
Oh, they actually see this. They know that Vici is in their jungle right now, and they should. I don't think they should fight this. Yeah, they're just tipping out. Like you were saying about the movements of VG were really good this game. They didn't try to overextend. Every time they take a tower, just run away.
Radiant's
They
middle
just push for the
tower
tower,
is
then
under
try to
attack.
go for any dives and structural. They're just focusing on getting all the structurals of DK at the moment before they push the high ground.
Yeah, Mushi gets a little bit of split pushing done mid. He's got an ultimate orb picked up right now. So are we just anticipating Hex, I suppose?
Yeah, must be a hex. They really need the hex to deal with the BKBs of VG. Without the hex, it's very hard for them. Like the Rubik has to. The only way is the Rubik lift before the BKB, but the Rubik doesn't have a dagger, so it's gonna be extremely hard for that to happen.
Yeah, if you're really worried about burning split push power in this
Dire's
game as
bottom
Vici
tower
Gaming,
is
do you
under
even
attack.
consider? I mean, it's not too outlandish to say
Dire's
Abyssal Blade
structures are
on Super,
fortified.
but maybe even on Sylar? I mean, I guess he also maybe wants to just go for a butterfly here.
Dire's
But
bottom tower.
we
I
have
think it's
seen it.
okay. Hook shot.
Hook shot in.
Cancel the TP.
Cancels the
Super.
TP from Super, Burning still going top
Radiant's
lane. They're
top
actually
tower is
re-engaging
under
here, but
attack.
DK, nice retreat. They force staff Ice back. Sylar is going to be the first one to TP, but Burning, 50% of the tower's life gone just because of a nice hook.
It's not even 50%. It's even more.
Not
than
even?
that. It's actually
Yeah,
it's
a little
actually
bit more.
60%. That was a really good play by SLS. He knew that he wanted to buy some time for Burning to deal a lot of damage to the tower. Like Burning was at a right position at that point. He played the situation really well. That was without a Manta Star. Like if he had a Manta Star, probably the tower would have been down already.
Oh, Mushi in a little bit of trouble bottom lane. Can they focus him down?
He's dead.
Yeah, no BKB. He's gone. Still plenty more lockdown. FY even gonna drop the freezing field for style points there. Another death for Mushi and another difficult situation for DK as far as these lanes are concerned.
I seriously hope that he does not consider getting a Lincoln's after that death from the Alchemist stun. Please don't do that.
You think they need the Hex just to deal with the BKBs?
Yeah, otherwise there's no way to deal with the BKB. They're not gonna get an Abyssal Bait on the Luna, so the Luna will be just dealing damage. If they don't get a Hex, there's no way they can take out the BKB heroes of Vici Gaming. And what if Vici Gaming go for a Diffuser Bait like what Puppy did? That'd be interesting.
So Vici, head up. Ice Ice Ice, being a nuisance with a haste turn, he's going to drag the creep wave away. So this is the only creep wave that Vici Gaming have to be able to disable backdoor protection. But they're here, they bring down the tier 3 and Burning. No split push pressure applied, they're just trying to wait out Mushi's respawn without having to be forced to use that buyback. But melee barracks dropping quickly, nice stun from Lanham. Hookshot comes in from the back lines from Ice Ice Ice. He gets the cog, RTK and Sylar dropping pretty quickly, but so is Burning. He's just barely alive, 125 hit points left. Dai is going to end up eating the stun from Alchemist to the face. Sonic Wave flies in, kills off the Chen. It's 1 for 1 so far. Vici Gaming on the retreat, and the melee barracks is still standing. Lanham trying to find something here perhaps. He's got a Force Staff, but there's still 4 Vici Gaming heroes here. And Super and FY now turning around. Lanham Force Staffs himself defensively, Super stuns himself. But can they do anything about him? His team is kind of leaving him behind, but
he's far too fast for them. He's too fast for them to catch. They can't catch him with those sort of items without a Hex.
This is he's very fast. It's a bit silly, but
this is my favorite item build.
Yeah, you were just extolling the benefits of SNY the other day, so I was about to say, but I think DK, that defense went about as well as you could have hoped for. They didn't really lose anybody important. Burning just managed to survive. They got Mushi to respawn without having to buy back, but he is going for Lincoln Sphere.
Oh my god, not a Hex. They just want to dodge fights. Like Lincoln's is good for split pushing. He's much safer when he's trying to split push.
Does he maybe go Lincoln's into Necro, maybe Lincoln's into Deso? Just more split push power?
Just going for probably like Necrobook is his best option if he wants to go split push.
Burning could finish up his Manta style if he wanted to. He's also got a Dominator picked up.
Yeah, that's a double damage, and they can go for with Roshan with this double damage. They saw it.
DK, this is looking like a huge opening for them. Vici Gaming just kind of sitting back and farming right now, and no real vision over the Roshan pit. MMY, he's got a gem picked up. We've still got the gem over on the Crystal Maiden, and she's actually very farmed. We've got an Ultimate Orb and 2.5k gold up on FY, but with the DK swings straight into the pit. We'll be able to bring this down. Burning actually got rid of his Midas to be able to pick up this Aegis. So farm's going to slow down a little bit from here, but he's almost completely stacked.
He has a Satanic as well. He just bought the recipe and he has enough for the Reaver.
Yeah, I do think it's a... I think the reality of the situation is that Vici Gaming are now able to force fights. You've got a naked set of racks on mid lane. You can't really stall them the same way you could when you had the tier 3 ups. So I like the fact that he's gone for a Satanic here instead of going for the Manta, which would be a little bit more split push oriented, because he needs to be on the front lines now. Ice 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 is level 11. He's not really going to be that much of a threat if he hookshot straight. And maybe he can buy a couple of seconds for Burning to do some good damage, but that's about it. Super set up onto the high ground. Ice 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 jumps in, Cogs in too. Burning's running in. He's going to pop off the Eclipse. He's focusing on the 2 heroes trapped in the Cogs. He's still got the Lincoln Sphere. He's popped his BKB as well. RTK charging in. DK have lost 2, but Burning still going to work. He's already used the Satanic, but Sylar's dropping low. The Aegis is still up as well. Mushi pinging away from the sidelines, throws up the Scream. The Freezing Field gets dropped. Burning is being focused, but he's still not dead just yet. Mushi keeps on going. RTK below 50%. Super on the run as well. Lanham trying to spot FY, considering going for the blind
Dire's
stun.
top
Both of their
tower
4
is under
stabs are cooling
attack.
down right now. On the other side of the fight, Fenrir's being chased down by Mushi and Burning. He's dead for sure. Lanham will also be able to finish off the Crystal Maiden, though it looks like it is going to be at the cost of his own life. Super picking up a mega kill, and after all is said and done, 3 for 3 with the Aegis lost as well.
Dire's
Fairly
top
even
tower
exchange.
is under attack.
Yeah, it was also still. I think it's still quite good for DK that they didn't really take too much damage there. Like they had, if they didn't get the Aegis, like they lost the Aegis. If they lost the Aegis to Vici, they would have taken damage from their Rex. But because they have it, they can defend their Rexes. But the next push would be very hard for them to defend without the Aegis. They won the fight just because they had the Aegis on Burning there.
Do you think it was the right decision from DK to try and stall this out towards the late game? Because we are about to run into a problem of Burning can only carry so many items, while Vici Gaming have 3 heroes that are just getting more and more stacked and dealing better and better damage as time goes on. And the Crystal Maiden, who is almost qualified as a core at this point. She's about to have a Hex finished.
I felt that it was actually a really weird decision too, but they just wanted to use their Hand of Midas to compensate the late game that they were not as good as Vici Gaming. So they felt that having the Hand of Midas means that they are at a still okay spot to fight with Vici Gaming later on. But I still feel like you said, Burning can only carry so much. His shoulders are as broad as it gets. He can't fight against the Alchemist and the Gyrocopter. So he needs help from another hero to be able to deal damage.
Yeah, and now he's got his Manta finished. He can swap out the power treads for Boots of Travel, and then he has one more spot for, I guess, either another damage or survivability item. So I guess it's Heart
I
or...
don't think he has time to farm for it. Like Vici will be coming right back already because they know they don't have Aegis Burning anymore, and this fight will be very different.
Yeah, and Super just charges straight up onto the high ground. Lanham threatens the stun, but Super's going to be able to dodge out of the way.
Dire's
Mushi
structures are fortified.
still hanging around. Fortifications being used. Sylar, first round of Flag Cannon flying out. Burning sends in the illusions. The hookshot flies in from Ice's Ice. He's isolated Sylar, RTK, and Super on the front lines. In comes the call down. Burning, BKB. Gonna keep on fighting, focusing on the Alchemist for the time being. Mushi eating some punches from RTK is gonna be able to blink back. Still getting stunned, and Burning now outside of his BKB is getting force stabbed further back into the base. His support's keeping him alive. Lanham not dead just yet. Ice, the only casualty so far. Mushi picks up the kill on the Chen. Everybody is low, but only 2 dead so far, but Burning gets hit by the Heaven's Halberd. Mushi continues to go to work. Triple kill for Mushi, and DK hold the racks for the 3rd or 4th time this game.
They tried to
Radiant's bottom
commit too much
tower
on
is
that.
under
Like they
attack.
could have just backed off right after they took the 1-for-1 trade, but they tried to kill Burning and he was too tanky. They took 2 Sonic Waves to the face in that fight. Like the fight went on for so long that Mushi was able to cast it twice.
And I think credit to the DK supports as well. The double 4-staff after Burning was outside of his BKB to save him and then let him continue fighting was fantastic. Because Vici, if there weren't 2
Radiant's
4-staffs there, I
middle
think
tower is
he's
under
just
attack.
dead for sure.
Yeah, that was the first
Radiant's
overextension in
middle
this game by
tower
Vici
has
Gaming.
fallen.
Yeah. When did you spot when the ultimate on the Alchemist ran out? Because I know he popped it
Radiant's
outside of the
middle
base,
tower is under
ran up,
attack.
started hitting the racks, and it feels like it may have worn off sometime during the fight. I don't think it was a huge
Radiant
deal
structures
overall.
are
Like I think
fortified.
DK just managed to kite Vici
Yeah.
around in
Radiant's
circles
middle
enough.
tower
I
is
agree that
under
it wasn't a
attack.
huge deal. They should have just like backed
So
off.
grateful.
They should have just backed off right after the 1-for-1 trade. They got really greedy and they felt that they could have killed Burning, and they all in on him, and the split up and all the other AoE spells just killed them
Radiant's
before
middle
they could have
tower
killed
has
Burning.
fallen.
Yeah, and now DK evening things up. We're pretty much dead even in terms of gold. Experience is actually pretty heavily in their favor right now, and Vici Gaming only 1 tier 2 left, and I guess DK, this is where maybe stalling things out towards the late game does start to pay off. If they can keep the lanes pressured out and maybe just work towards the next Roshan, then we're back to a situation where Vici Gaming are actually the ones having to make the plays to get out of here.
Yeah, they decided, there's one more thing as well, they decided to take that last fight was also because that they managed to use Heaven's Halberd on Burning, and they felt that without him attacking, they could have just killed him and killed the rest of the team. But they forgot about all the AoE spells that DK had. The split up landed on them, and once that happened, they were just dead right after. like the next fight would be really close to even. Whoever has the better engage
Radiant's
will be
bottom
able
tower
to
is
take the
under
fight.
attack.
And Mushi is finally going to have his hacks now. So the BKB heroes will be an easy target now. After they run out of BKBs, it's gonna be like 5 seconds only for Sylar, and Alchemist has 7.
Yeah, let's take. I guess we should take full stock of BKB. So RTK 7 seconds, Alchemist 7 seconds, Sylar 5 seconds, and then over on DK it's pretty much just burning, and he's at 6 seconds right now.
Yeah, the hacks, as long as they manage to pick off the main target right now, will be the gyrocopter. Once they take him out, I don't think Vici Gaming can deal enough damage to kill Burning.
Yeah, and Sylar actually went pretty heavy on the survivability as well. He finished off his Satanic instead of maybe going for a butterfly. But
He needs a butterfly now.
and now he does. But DK just 5-manning bottom lane, Vici Gaming down here as well. Other lanes in a fairly even position, but mid lane is pushing in favor of DK, and they're just looking to see if they can siege out this tier 2 tower.
Yeah. There's also an illusion rune at bottom. Like whoever finds this rune will be greatly beneficial for them in the next fight.
Especially on Burning. Okay, so tier 2's gone.
Radiant's bottom
Oh,
They're gonna
Mushi
run
jumps
back.
in with the
Mushi.
hex, but
They're gonna run back and
That's
spot the rune most likely.
yeah, when's this Roshan gonna respawn as well? That's another big factor. DK running out, Vici Gaming don't have the best initiation. It's pretty much just super running
Movement
at
speed.
them right now.
He has the movement speed to chase down anyone.
Okay, Burning finds the illusions. Roshan, when are you gonna respawn? We've got a bit of an over-dramatic animation to wait through, so we'll just keep
He
an eye on
has
the
to.
teams.
I think he should keep the illusions alive as much as possible. These illusions would be really helpful for them if the fight breaks out in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've almost
The
got a max duration, well, max Roshan respawn time here. So both teams sit back.
So
and
this
farm
is
for a
like
bit.
almost 3 minutes, right? 2.5.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, about that.
The illusions won't last that long.
No, they're just leaving one to scout. The other one's being killed off over in the Radiant jungle, so
Yeah.
not going to be super useful for lane pressure, but
CM has a hex too, so
yeah.
whoever gets the hex on first will be able to take down whatever target they desired, unless they get a 4-star for fight. I don't know if anyone will build a diffuser like what Puppy did the other day for this sort of scenario.
Burning, what's it going to be? Heart or damage? Damage. Okay, so he's
probably gonna
anticipating
get
the...
Monkey King bar, I think.
Yeah, I think he's probably... You have to expect... There's already a Heaven's Halberd on RTK, so we're talking dodge there. Alchemist could still, probably build one. Or he could even build a butterfly if he was really worried about survivability. And Sylar, next item pickup, more than likely the butterfly, if it's not going to be a rapier. But no, he's already got his talisman
he
up.
needs the butterfly very badly. Like the last fight, where if he didn't die there, he would have it by now. But because he died, he can't spend his money and he needs to save buyback. Does Burning have enough for his Monkey King bar? Yeah, he actually has enough.
Yeah, we'll see if he maybe just saves for buyback here. DK, stun onto die, stun onto
Ice
RTK. Who
behind.
can they jump in here? Mushi gets his Lincoln Sphere popped. As you said, Ice, just waiting off at the side. Seeing if Vici Gaming, if they ever turn tail and run. And I think Vici, they're definitely backing off. Alchemist Ultimate is just about to wear down. So probably going to wait for that, reload, and then maybe look for another attempt here.
They need to get a hex, but the problem is if they get a hex on someone, there's always the 4-star to get out. They need a good initiation. Without the good initiation, if they try to make the fight prolong as long as possible, if Mushi gets to drop a second ultimate, the second ultimate will kill all of them.
Yeah, I think you can't underestimate the amount of damage that Mushi's been doing in these fights. Because for the second half of that fight on mid, after Burning's BKB wore off and he got hit by the Heaven's Halberd, he wasn't really doing that much. It was all Mushi just wearing people
down. It was
down.
the spell damage from the Lash and the Quap doing work there after all the BKBs went down.
So Vici, they smoke, they loop around the Roshan pit. They're kind of hoping that Roshan's respawned. He's now actually back up. It's been spotted by the Centaur. So this is the next battle.
Yeah, they just rocket. Like they know that it's respawner. If someone runs up the ramp here,
okay, so Mushi, Boots of Travel into the mid wave, gets it pushed out. Rest of DK backing him up. Both teams moving in right now.
Here comes
Super
the
gonna
fight.
come in with the stun, burning. What can they do? They hex him. Will he be able to pop off his BKB? Ice jumps into the middle. Cogs up to Sylar turning around. Mushi gonna throw down the Sonic Wave. Ice just being chopped, finished off by Super, but the Vici Gaming BKBs have already been used. Burning pops off his BKB. The Satanic trying to keep him alive as well. He's gonna keep on right clicking, but the 3 cores from Vici Gaming just pound him to death. Lanham very low, lands a stun. Super finishes off the Rubik on the sidelines. Now Lanham pops the Ghost Scepter, but not gonna keep him alive. Buybacks from DK. They know that the battle is for Roshan right now. Mushi still up. 5 seconds until his next
Dire's
hex.
top tower is under attack.
Looks like we do have a little bit of a lull here.
Oh, he managed to kill the Chen.
Exquisite agony.
They just have to back
thanks.
off and go for Roshan maybe. But they bought out the Chen as well.
So
Doesn't have ulti.
we're back to 5 on
Dire's
5.
top
Mushi
tower
still
is
got
under
buyback.
attack.
Sylar still has buyback. And
Dire's
Super still
top
has
tower
buyback
has
as well.
fallen.
As does RTK.
Yeah, but they don't have boots of travel. Like Mushi's
No.
buyback is much more valuable in this scenario. He has boots of travel to come back instantly.
So Vici Gaming gonna keep on fighting. Dai gets his hands on the Chemical Rage. Both teams are just vying for position on this Roshan right now. It's Aegis and Cheese up for grabs as well.
This position is much more favorable for Vici Gaming on the open, and the top lane creeps are pushed down to DK's side of the map too.
Yeah, Mushi's gonna be the one to go and deal with that. We've got an Abyssal Blade purchased up for the Alchemist, so no buyback ready for him. RTK already popping off the BKB. Gyro's gonna end up grabbing the Aegis. MMY's coming in. Fenrir's been isolated.
Sonic
Is
Wave
he gonna be able to
didn't
drop his spells? Burning, walking in from the side. Super, he's already BKB. Burning gonna pop his BKB as well. The Hex up on Super now that he's out of BKB. Sylar gonna keep on focusing on Burning. He's already used the Satanic. He gets hexed up. The cooldown's gonna be dropped. Burning ends up going down. 125 seconds of death for your Luna. Vici Gaming looking like they should be able to close this out here. DK just going to be as annoying as they can. And MMY gets spotted out. Slowed down as well. Force Staff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Will he be able to get back inside the base? Will be able to do so.
There was no follow-up stunts anymore. Like she used the Frostbite and Hex already. They didn't have any more lockdown to chase him down. So I don't think they can hold this Rex anymore. This is
Dire's
the
middle
end for these
barracks
two
are under
Rex here
attack.
in mid lane.
Dire's
they-
structures
Well,
are
they've just used their
fortified.
fortification. 80 seconds to stall out for the
Mushi's
Luna, but
hex
Mushi
up.
gets hit by the Hex. Did they use the homing missile to pop his Lincoln Sphere? I think they did. MMY gets slowed down as well. Gonna pop the Ghost Scepter and Force Staff out. Mushi's back into the fray. Throws up the Sonic Wave with the Hand of God. Gonna keep everybody healthy. Sylar being focused underneath the tier 4 towers. He gets lifted up, but he gets put right down exactly where he was. Pops the Satanic. Still fairly healthy. Vici Gaming realizing that they do still have to go back.
Dire's
Finish
middle
off these
barracks
racks.
has fallen.
DK gonna have another Sonic Wave up
Dire's
in 20
middle
seconds,
barracks
and
has
Vici
fallen.
swinging towards the top lane as DK continue to whittle away at them.
This Rex will be still extremely hard for them to hold. Like there's only another 40 seconds before burning response. Without burning, they can't do anything.
Dire's
FY, a
top
little bit
tower
off to the
has
side,
fallen.
both hexes off cooldown. Mushi gonna use his hex on the Crystal Maiden. Sylar's coming in, blink back defensively, and FY Force Staffs out of the way of the Sonic Wave. Really nicely done. Lanham Force Staffing back into the Ancient. RTK is fairly low. Mech gonna keep him up. Mushi gonna keep on right clicking. They've got an aggressive TP coming in from Ice, but he immediately gets hexed up by the Crystal Maiden. RTK keeps on going. The call down dropped as well. Can they double Force Staff him? He's able to hook, but he still ends up going down to the Flak Cannon. So another death for the Clockwork. It isn't Mega Creeps just yet. DK is still holding out until Burning respawns. And Vici just trying to escape. They do finish off FY. Sylar trapped in his own call down. MMY turns that around. Fenrir pops the Ghost Scepter, but one more scream from Mushi brings him down. But after all of this, well, Sylar actually had the Aegis. Comes back up, but brought down immediately. Triple kill for Mushi. But Sylar still has buyback and RTK still alive.
Damage is already done. So they can still calmly wait for Sylar to respawn. All the lanes are down from DK. It'll take them a long time to try and push down. Sylar still has buyback, right?
Yeah, he's still got buyback, and they've still got fortification as well.
The Chen doesn't have buyback. CM has buyback. Oh no, CM doesn't have buyback. Only Sylar.
Yeah, RTK also has buyback, so it's also got 5k gold.
Yeah, they use up all their resources already, the Aegis and the Cheese too. So this fight will be just all their heroes plus the Gyrocopter buyback.
Yeah, and Gyro buying back already, so they've still got the RTK buyback up their sleeve. DK all turn up on middle lane. Mushi's actually picked up a Shiva's super.
Radiant structures
Haven't really seen that
are
Abyssal Blade
fortified.
do too much just yet. RTK is going to wade straight in. The Glaive bounces. Are going to zone him back. They need to bring down these Manta-style illusions. Ice. Actually just going to pop the mech to keep those alive. As they keep on working away, they use the Heaven's Halberd, they jump in, the call down's being dropped on top of Silo Supers here as well, they lift up the Gyrocopter, they bring him down, no life for the Gyro, Burning needs to be able to fight through this, he hasn't used the Satanic just yet, the Cogs bounces back, RTK, he's down, they force that Burning, but it's further in towards the tier 4s, he buys back, well no, pops his, there's a buyback from RTK, there's the Satanic pops from Burning, so he's back and healthy. Fenrir popping his Ghost Scepter. DK gonna keep on fighting. They've lost 2 for 2 so far. Hand of God going to be used, but Mushi gonna keep on fighting. Another Hex fairly soon. RTK and Super, the only ones alive right now for Vici Gaming. There is still a buyback on Super. In fact, there's a stun on Burning. The Heaven's Halberd as well. They can force staff him back, however, and Mushi keeps on fighting. Hex is up Super. Lanham gets brought down, but the Krill Spray damage. Burning trying to escape. He pops the Manta, but he gets brought down. It's Mushi versus the world, but he's got nothing left. And DK have to duck out without even bringing down a tier 3.
Once that push failed, the next push Vici brings in, they can even wait for the Roche. Like, they don't have to rush anything anymore. All the creeps are pushed out on DK's side. Like after Burning died there was no damage at all. Like they can't do anything. They dived so far in and they didn't even take down the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, and I mean they've done such a good job of keeping Burning alive in all of these fights, but at the end of the day he is still the only damage that can bring down all of these Vici Gaming cores. You're talking about a Bristleback, an Alchemist, and a Gyrocopter with a Butterfly and a Satanic.
It seems more like a 4-1 because Mushi went for the items that he did. He's not something like a damage right clicker, he's more like only spell damage. The rest of it comes from only burning. Nothing else does damage.
Do you think he maybe could have gone something different aside from the Shivas, or do you think his build is fine? I don't think you can pin this on Mushi at all. I mean, Vici Gaming
both builds has their pros and cons. It's just up to his selection. Like even if he did go for the Monkey King Bow or any damage item, it doesn't mean they will win the fight. It's just another option that he could have taken.
Yeah, there's no guarantee of anything if Mushi changes his build.
The Shivas is very good against the Tricore though. I would agree to that. Like all of them does a lot of right click damage, and slowing the attack speed down is a huge deal in the late game scenario.
Yeah, so DK, they've got 1 lane of Rex left. I don't think we have a couple of buybacks cooling down.
So Super has double damage. He's hiding at the side. He saw Mushi just teleport down. No, they're not gonna go in. All the wards there spot out whatever DK is trying to do.
Man, I really wish the BKB durations weren't bugged if you open up the item panel. You actually have to go and check them directly. But I think everybody is down to 4 seconds now. Nobody's
I'll check it. Yeah,
everybody's on 4.
Gyrocopter for Alchemist is also 4.
Yeah, so Vici Gaming, just to risk anything at this point, right? I think you've got buybacks cooling down.
They just need to wait for the Roshan and
yeah.
Don't do anything silly unless they have a clear-cut opening.
And I guess DK, the only thing is, if you can keep this bottom lane pushed out as far as possible, that's great. But I don't think that's very likely, because DK have to spend so much time just managing top lane and mid to even have a chance of contesting Roche. And at this point, Ice is just going to start rocket flaring.
I think Burning is in dire need of that true strike. He's been missing so much attacks on the team fight that he deals so much less compared to the previous few fights already.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been. I haven't actually noticed if he's been choosing his targets.
He's been disarmed too, like in all the situations. It's a really hard time for him to deal damage.
There it goes.
Yeah, so Burning might be able to finish that one up. Vici Gaming actually just pushing down bot. They've got the courier flying in over towards the pit right now. Might even use that to just scout. It's also an MKB being brought out for RTK.
RTK has an MKB too.
Yeah. So, poor Burning. I mean, DK, to their credit, have done so much to keep him alive. They've popped Shivas and kited him away from, the melee damage dealers with Force Stabs, and they've popped Lincoln Spheres on him, and this is DK doing everything that they can for Burning, but
yeah, And this game also is not a very Rubik is not very strong late game too, because there's nothing very major that he can steal to change the fight. Like the best thing he can have is the Alchemist stun or the freezing field, which doesn't really do too much already now. Like everyone is going to kill the Rubik so quickly.
Yeah, maybe this is even where you start thinking, okay, maybe I just try and get acid spray or something like that if he at all can.
The Alchemist stun, I feel, is his best option. Like they need another form of disable if they don't get to kill in the hex time of Mushi. So the Alchemist stun is a really good spell for him right now.
So Vici Gaming, like you said, they're just playing this safe. They're farming. Nobody's really splitting up to be caught by a smoke gank. They just keep all the lanes in, and they don't even need to really bother about 2 lanes. Yeah, and just waiting for
the big ball. They don't have to do anything like risky. It's just gonna be waiting for the Aegis and Cheese, and DK have to defend their lanes. They can't really push out with their heroes to try and smoke gank.
If you're Vici Gaming, I mean, you don't know this, but this is incredibly frustrating. This is almost the maximum possible Roshan respawn time, minus like a couple of seconds. So they've got a little while to wait, but I don't know what DK can necessarily do to improve their situation. Maybe Mushi buys a rapier? Question mark? Like
maybe. Yeah, I think a rapier would be a very good way of turning the fights. Like that item is the item that gives you the most damage, and if you're already 2 sets of Rack stun, the Alchemist is running up with the stun.
Yeah, Mushi puts the Lincoln Sphere down in time, but there's still a Hungry Missile coming in. RTK gets focused, but he's force staffed back as well. The cogs dropped on Super, the Sonic Wave comes in, but it's only onto BKB targets. They've lost Ice. But
he couldn't force out in time, he got Abyssal immediately. And he doesn't have buyback.
Man, Vici really want to back off and see Roshan respawn. I mean, even with Ice dead, they're not feeling confident enough to push up. They've got their very clear game plan, and they are sticking to their guns right now.
Yeah, they don't have to take a lot of risks. Like this game doesn't feel like RTK. RTK is like the guy that always takes risks, but he's a changed man now, leading this team.
I think they've realized that they've won if nothing terrible happens. Like if they don't make any mistakes, if they just rely on the lanes being pushed out, they're diligent about that, they get the Roshan, then you should be able to bring down, you should be able to finish the game if you've got the Aegis and the cheese. So yeah. It seems like RTK is a changed man here. Though I have still see him going for some of his typical dives in mid-game situations. BKB's popped off Burning, he found Super, but the Eclipse not doing anything, and he gets the Abyssal Blade dropped at him. Can they force staff him further out? Able to do so, double force staff, gets Burning a little bit further away, gets hit by the Lincoln Sphere. RTK stunned up, Hand of God pops, but Burning just can't bring down anybody. He gets hit by the Heaven's Halberd, the hookshot flies in, but Burning's going to be brought down. Lanham keeps on burning away. Ice finished off by one more auto attack. Mushi throws the Sonic Wave, buyback from Burning, but Roshan's respawn. DK are 3 heroes down, and this is looking like it's just going to be game over.
Yeah, this is over already. Like, there's nothing more DK could do. Without the Monkey King, Burning is just not doing enough in the fights, and the BKB timing down to 4 seconds is his main weakness too. He needed 2 more items like a new BKB and the Monkey King bar to be able to fight, but without time and constantly dying, that just is, there's no way he will reach that point in the game.
Yeah, but it is worth pointing out that this was a very close game. I think this could have gone. At any point, one mistake from either team could have been it. Burning, BKB and Manta Style trying to avoid Super. The Abyssal Blade's been used on an illusion, but Sylar's got an Aegis. RTK has the cheese, and Mega Creeps on their way. Mushi doing his best to keep on fighting. Lanham's respawned. RTK and Super, 2-man stun. Hookshot flies in as well from Ice, but that's Mega Creeps. RTK being focused, pops the cheese. Heaven's Halberd onto Burning. They force staff Burning away, but he's about to be brought down. 125 seconds of no Luna. Lanham gonna keep on just ticking away, but Sylar unconcerned. Mushi blinks further out, but that's just gonna be GG. But what a way to open this winner bracket semifinal, I have to say.
Yeah, the Alchemist, CM and Chen really set the pace very well for Vici Gaming at the start, and like you said, they are the team that has 3 cores, and DK are trying to deal with the 3 cores by not going to control the early game tempo, but by having more hands of Midas, which is quite a different approach. But in the late game, it still showed that Queen of Pain didn't go for a damage item. He went for all those utility items, and they were just relying solely on burning. Like if you do that, item like a Heaven's Helmet, it's gonna make the Luna life in the team fight so difficult. He can't hit anyone, and if he's not getting Heaven's Helmet, he's getting kited around and he's getting stunned. All those stuff happening to him. He's just not able to attack, and without a 10-second BKB in a late game situation like this, there's no way he's going to be able to deal enough damage to win.
Yeah, so hour-long slugfest for our first match. We're going to be jumping into game 2 of this best of 3. Up next, it's Vici Gaming versus DK for the semifinals, upper bracket semifinals of the Sina Cup. Winner of this best of 3 is in fact going to be advancing to play against LGD China. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for game 1, unless Winter has any closing remarks.
Not really.
Awesome.
Do you have something to? Do you
No.
have something that you want to say too?
Not really. No, I just want to go to game 2. I want to see how this keeps on moving.
Yeah, me too. Let's go.
Awesome. Yep. So let's go, guys. Hope to see you for the next game.